funny part of the story. When I first got involved, I didn't I mean, you know, these two suits from Minneapolis brought me in, and I don't think they'd ever thought they'd hear from me again. And so, back in that, you know, the puppy dog, right?
And that was Don Lavoie and
Don Lavoie and Mike Dunn.
And Mike Dunn, and they were your upline.
They were my upline.
It's so sad. These are guys that I worked with way back when, and they were cross-line to me, which was just brutal to watch you know, take off and me sit there.
So
but who knows? It all happens for a reason, right? Go ahead.
I got the 40 water filters,
yeah.
And the town I lived in had really clean water, no chlorine, so there was no taste difference for the puppy dog. You know, so it didn't work. So I went to a neighboring town 45 miles away, and
first of all, if some people said, well, my product doesn't work in my town, would that be enough for them to quit?
Unfortunately, for a lot of them it would, but that's
the
mistake.
But he drove 45 minutes, found a place where people were excited. You know, most products today are universal, but go ahead.
So knocking on doors, placed 3 water filters.
You knocked on doors?
Knocked on doors. I mean, I had $5,000 worth of the product, I couldn't sell it. And I did this on my honeymoon. I mean, because, you know, because people have spouses, someone else in their life that is telling you you can't do something. And one of the things that I, you know, told my fiance at the time when I placed the order is I said, you know what, I believe, because first thing she said is, let's get her, okay, if you want to do this, let's get our bills paid off. And I said, at the rate we're going, that's going to take 15 or 20 years. I need to do it today. I'm doing this to make money, not spend money.
Yeah.
And I said, I believe it's going to be far less damaging on our relationship for me to actually try and fail at this than for me to not try it all and live with the resentment. Because I can tell you, if I find somebody that made a fortune in this thing and I was there and I didn't do it, I don't think I can live that one down.
Okay.
So I needed to do this, but I wasn't doing it right. I mean, I was excited, placing his water filters.
Yeah, making mistakes.
After work, drove to Fergus Falls in the night. This was December, cold. 24 years old, knocking on these doors, placed 3 filters. Came back the next week to check on him, brought my brother with me. Sold one of the 3, made $59. I mean, I thought that is the easiest money I've ever made in my entire life. We are going to be rich.
If everybody worked that hard in our profession today for $59, that would be a good thing. But
so my brother bought 40 water filters, you know, after he had saw me make 59 bucks. And so, you know, for about 2 months, that's what we were doing. We were knocking on doors in this town that had terrible water, placing water filters. And there was a big event in Fargo, North Dakota. Mike Nelson, National Marketing Director,
good friend.
Go to Minneapolis, go to this event. I mean, I am charged up. My brother and I come up to Mike afterwards, say this was unbelievable. We are going to canvass Fargo and place a bunch of filters. And he says, what do you mean? I said, we're going to go knock on doors, get these filters out. And he says, you know, I made $200,000 last year. If you told me I had to knock on doors to do it, I wouldn't be here today. He says, who's your upline? I said, Mike Dunn, Don Lavoie. He says, you're in my upline. Come up to my room. So he explained the concept of leverage, of getting others involved. Because at first I didn't want to get anybody involved.
Small business or big business?
Yeah, I didn't want to get anybody involved because I'm like, why would I want to create, I even hesitated letting my brother in because I didn't want to create my own competition. I wanted to sell them all. And but that was a pinnacle event because I got it. I understand
turn the page.
That you could recruit and build leverage.
Yeah. So he sat down and what did he explain to you?
He just explained, you know, about drawing the circles, the leverage, and be able to have all of these other people, you know, working for you.
Right. So if you're a small percentage of a large group versus
absolutely
100% of yourself. Yep. So this defining moment happens, and Mike Nelson is a good friend, still lives here in the Twin City area, and was one of my early mentors too. I mean, he came into town and taught me a lot about the profession. And but anyway, so he tells you this, and then what happens?
Completely changed. I became a national marketing director in 6 months.
But back up. When you walked out of the room, and then the next week, and the next 30 days, what did you?
I went from selling a filter to selling an opportunity.
Okay, and by selling the opportunity, you sold more product.
I've sold them instead of one at a time. I was selling them in blocks of 40.
And then they were doing the same.
And they were doing the same, and you know, became a national marketing director.
That was the highest level in the company.
In 16 months, became a sales coordinator in 6 months, national marketing director in 16 months, and you know, forever it changed my life.
Yeah. So big lessons over the course of those 16 months. Any lessons that you learned that stand out?
Well, I think one of the lessons is consumable products.
Right. Having something that's consumable that people use on a monthly basis is better than a one-time purchase.
You know, NSA, now known as Juice Plus. I mean, if they would have had Juice Plus prior to we'd probably both still be here.
Yeah.
Because we'd have built a residual income. I think timing is a key factor. But I think there's nothing that can replace belief in what you're doing, because if you truly believe in what you're doing, you're going to attract others, and to maintain that consistency and persistence. I have a philosophy of small steps, that there's no quantum leaps. You really don't need to do anything great. You just need to be consistent on a day, because every single decision that we make in life has an impact on our life, on the outcome. I mean, from picking the phone up to attending an event, to us getting together here today. I mean, it'll have some impact on both of our lives in some way.